Back in Capernaum. Jesus and the apostles arrived in Capernaum on the evening of January 13th. As usual, they made Zebedee's house in Bethsaida their headquarters. Now that John the Baptist had been put to death, Jesus prepared to embark on his first public preaching tour of Galilee. The news that Jesus had returned spread quickly, and early the next morning his mother Mary fled Capernaum to stay with her son Joseph in Nazareth. Jesus spent the first days instructing his apostles, preparing them for their first major public appearance. He also received and taught people who came to him with serious questions, both individually and in groups. It was also arranged that he would lead the upcoming Sabbath service in the synagogue. Late Friday night, Ruth, Jesus' youngest sister, secretly visited him. They spent almost an hour together in a boat anchored a short distance from shore. Except for John Zebedee, no one ever knew about this visit, and he was explicitly asked not to speak about it. Ruth was the only family member who consistently and steadfastly believed in the divinity of her big brother. She never doubted his mission. Ruth was, as far as his earthly family was concerned, his main comfort and support throughout the painful ordeal of his trial, rejection, and crucifixion. One morning during this first week, Jesus was teaching on the shore of the lake. The meeting was well attended, and more curious people kept coming. The growing crowd pushed him closer to the water. At one point, Jesus stood at the water's edge and saw a familiar fishing boat approaching, which he beckoned for help. When he got into the boat, they anchored it 10 meters from the shore, and from this safe position, Jesus taught the assembled people for more than 2 hours. The skipper of the boat was David Zebedee, the younger brother of James and John, who was with 2 other fishermen. After Jesus finished teaching the people, he said to the fishermen, "You have been delayed by me. Let's go fishing to make up for the lost time. Sail to the deep water over there and let down your nets." One of the fishermen in the boat, named Simon, replied, "Master, it's pointless. We've been fishing there all night and caught nothing." But they sailed to the spot Jesus had indicated, cast their nets, and caught so many fish that they were afraid their nets would tear. They signaled to their colleagues on the shore, who came to help them with boats. When they had loaded 3 boats full of fish, the fisherman Simon fell at Jesus' feet and said, "Depart from me, Master, for I am a sinful man." All the fishermen around were astonished by this large catch. From that day, David Zebedee and this Simon left their nets and followed Jesus. But this was by no means a miraculous catch of fish. Jesus was someone who had closely studied nature. He had experience with fishing and understood the habits of the fish. On this occasion, he merely directed these men with his human intellect to a place where he deemed it likely that fish could be found at that time of day. However, Jesus' followers considered this a miracle, and in later times this event was elevated to a mythical legend.